Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. Looking at Thunder Nuggets Game 2 here with the away team up 1-0, as we know. Going to be using some stuff from Game 1 and some matchup stuff, insights, and all the data you need for the bets that you might want to make here on Wednesday. Also have an episode up for the first game of the night on Wednesday with the Celtics and the Knicks Game 2. So make sure to subscribe to that channel. Don't miss any of this stuff that we're bringing you for the rest of this postseason. Also want to run through how we did here on Tuesday night. Have that stuff all done. Warriors just ended a nice victory there against the Wolves. We had some Nas Reeves bets. So we are back up pretty nicely on the season. Going to give you guys a chance to get back in with a little 50% off for those of you who do want to jump into the VIP. So if that all sounds good, give this video a like. Let's get right into it. Yes, sirs, is all I got to say about Tuesday night. Tyrese Haliburton, I'm never saying anything bad about him again. Please call me out in the comments. Not that I need to ask you guys to call me out in the comments. That seems to be your favorite thing to do. But please feel free to do it again here if I ever talk any kind of shit on Tyrese Haliburton or his father, for that matter. They are free from any of my spite forever at this point. That Indiana money line there, plus 200 because of that insane 4 points in one possession that we saw Hallie get at the end of the game. Easily covered the plus 9 as well, although that was shaky for most of that game. Nembhard is a G. Barely climbed over. We need to start talking about his assists a lot more. I meant to bet 4+ assists in addition to this. Messed all that up. Still got the basically even money for over 12.5 points. Playoff Nembhard, man. Like, he might not hit it every single game this series, but I think he's going to do it enough to make us money back if we bet on it pretty much every time. You're starting to lose me at 13.5 points, though, for Nembhard. We've talked about that with the folks in the Discord, the VIP section of the Discord. That's where you start to lose me, is 13.5, because you still get the value on like 12.5, 15+ points at like plus 160. All that stuff's great. You're starting to lose me once we get to 13 or 14.5 points. Nas Reed, this is going to go up. That was a stupid line for him. I mean, he's a Warriors killer. We're always going to look for guys against the Warriors who are bigs, who can shoot on the spot up and can guard multiple positions so that you can't run them off the court, right? And the Dubs, tough loss with Steph there. Not sure how his hamstring is going to hold up, but either way, Nas is going to be crucial to this series. So you got to keep betting on him. I'm sure this is going to go up at least 1, maybe 2 to like 17.5 PR, but we'll continue to revisit the Nas Reed stuff. He hit the threes as well. He's basically their best catch and shoot. I mean, not basically. I think he's a better catch and shoot player than Dante DiVincenzo. So I'm calling him their best catch and shoot guy. 1.5 threes was silly. I think he ended with 4. We'll continue to look at those numbers for him. The parlays didn't hit quite as nicely today. We only lost 0.2 units. Jared Allen came through by going under on the boards and 15+ points. He was a killer. The 20+ points was there for him as well. And then Donnie did not go under on the assists, as plenty of people came back in the comments to let me know. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to continue to like some unders for Donnie. Ty Jerome with a terrible game, but 6.5 assists, he's not. Like, for those of y'all mad when I say he's not a 7 assist a game guy, Go show me when he averages 7 assists at any point in his career. I would love to see that. Nembhard on the boards. Look, let's not fade him. The boards under continue to be a good look when Darius Garland is available, not so much Donnie Mitchell. And we saw a lot more of Nembhard on Donovan Mitchell. So the under 3.5 rebounds is a lot more predicated on him guarding Darius Garland than it is on him guarding Donnie Mitchell, right? So we got to wait for Darius Garland to kind of come back before we feel good about that one. But we did end 6-2, plus 5.6 units for today. So that does get us up here on the playoffs. You can see 5.8 units, 40.3 on the season. This is what we're looking at since I started looking at the straights and the parlays separately for you guys specifically. Obviously, I have my own record sheets, but for the stuff that I'm publicly displaying, wanted to make clear the difference between straights and parlays and how we're doing on those here. So that's where we're at with this stuff. So if you do want to jump in for a 50% discount, still got Davion. That's still my boy. And it does get you a free month in your first one there in the VIP. Got the link in the description of the video to get you into the VIP. So check that stuff out. But let's go ahead and see what we've got here for this game on Wednesday. Let's get into some game 2 notes for this one. The first thing I've got here is, where did J-Dub go? 5 for 20 from the field, and I'll tell you where he went. He went into Aaron Gordon's pocket because Aaron Gordon locked him the hell up. I went back and watched all 20 of those shots for J-Dub. Came to the conclusion that 8 of them were good looks. 11 were very, very tough or like basically nearly blocked shots. And then the last attempt was that 56-foot heave that he took at the very end of regulation after Aaron Gordon canned a 3 in Chet's face to get that victory there. Next note there, speaking of Chet, nice little segue, minus 14 in that game. Not good. Caruso was a plus 13. Kason Wallace was slightly better at plus 15, but he wasn't out there for as long as Caruso was either. And I kind of looked at the specific matchups here. Caruso on Gordon, Chet on Gordon. What was the difference? Caruso on Gordon was no points for Gordon in 2 minutes of offense for the Nuggets here, where Gordon was on offense and Caruso was the main defender. Chet on Gordon when Gordon's main offense, that was about 6 points for Gordon in 1 minute and 40 seconds. J-Dub also did not have a good time guarding Gordon. He gave up about 7 points to Ago when he was the primary defender, right? So I think we're going to see more Alex Caruso. That's what these 3 bullets all about Alex Caruso tell you, is that if I was Dagnall, this would be the go-to guy off the bench. I might be trimming that rotation down to maybe not even that much Isaiah Joe anymore, and a lot more of Alex Caruso, who is hit some threes. He's still going to be good for those threes, I believe. And most importantly, he's not afraid of the moment like some of these other role players who are young guys on OKC might be. And then if we're looking at Murray and Jokic and that Nuggets offense, 112 touches for Jokic, 85 touches for Murray. They combined for most of them, as you would imagine, more than 50% of the touches between those two guys. They did it. They did big stuff. We're going to see if OKC can force the ball out of their hands in this one. And if we're looking at the matchups, let's just get right into it with the Nuggets on offense here. Nothing to really talk about except for we did see a lot of J-Dub on Gordon. And this was what we talked about in game 1 when if you watched that episode and we were looking at matchups. J-Dub, it was kind of like, is Chet going to stay on Gordon? I don't think so, right? Like, I think Chet was clear that, like, that was not a great matchup for him. So when they get in the starting lineup next time, we'll see what happens with Porter Jr. This is all kind of messed up because Porter Jr. only played 24 minutes. So when Russ comes in, things look a little bit different, but we'll probably see J-Dub on Russ, and that creates a problem for Chet on Aaron Gordon. Sometimes also Hartenstein came on. They're going to kind of mix up how the bigs guard each other, but I'll tell you this, Aaron Gordon is the X factor right now and a problem for OKC. On the other side here, I got the asterisk next to Porter Jr.'s name for the defense for the Nuggets, because what I'm looking at with this one is if Porter Jr. is not out there, then you're going to see Russ on J-Dub, and you'll see Gordon on Chet once again. I'm basically warning people not to bet overs on Chet. Like, Aaron Gordon's eating him alive. Chet was doing a great job being better than Triple J in the last series. In this series, he's coming crashing down to earth because this is a different beast for sure. So I'm not sure how long he is for the series because we only saw him play 27 minutes in this last game. I'm not saying they're taking Chet's minutes entirely away, but they're going to need to find some options, including, like I said, Alex Caruso being a really good option to come out there and guard guys that are bigger than him. Quick reminder, we are using Props Madness here on the show, the #1 sports betting tool for all things player props and hoops. Use code LYB if you want to jump into this platform. I'm going to be sharing my screen showing you guys this stuff. That'll get you 25% off, though, and you can also get 7 free days if you want to trial it out before you get into things here with Props Madness. But still the best way to go ahead and save time for everything, one-stop shop here for all things player props. But let's just get right into the man Caruso, right? Because obviously he had an awesome game in this one, 20 points. That was mostly due to 5 threes that he made, right? Getting him 15 points off of those alone, just 2 free throws. If you look at the assists for him, also really nice, 11 potentials in 26 minutes. That's awesome. And then as far as the boards go, only 1 rebound, but he had 6 rebound chances. So that leads me to just liking the PRA. I think he's going to keep getting minutes. He's going to soak up a ton of ball touches as a result of that. Pause. But either way, like, you have to like Caruso to be involved in things when you see his volume in this past game, right? So I think his minutes are going to be high. Again, if we give him 24 to 28 minutes on the season, which is, giving us sort of a middle range of 26. If we look at those numbers specifically for him, he's at about 17.8 PRA per game. But again, I think he's going to be trusted a lot more than other guys that are going to come on the floor, like Kason Wallace, for example. Definitely like Isaiah Joe. I'm not sure we're going to see too many guys. I think the Thunder realize that they need to cut down their bench a little bit. It's not like they're going to necessarily be able to tire out Jokic and Murray to the point that, having more guys come in will be beneficial, because the Nuggets are going to run a 6-man rotation with very little minutes for Peyton Watson, Julian Strawther, etc., and basically just Russ coming off the bench. That means Alex Caruso needs to be out there for most of those minutes as well. Looking at the Nuggets here, I got to go back to Ago and specifically the rebounds. Like, if you like the points for Aaron Gordon, I wouldn't tell you, try to talk you off of it. I would just say the rebounds are a really, really nice bet against this team. So 22 rebound chances, 14 rebounds in this last game. Like I said, I think he's the X factor for Denver, because if you look at these regular season games for Aaron Gordon, he did really well in the first one. They lost by 15, right? Whatever. 14 rebound chances, 9 rebounds because he played 33 minutes. Then he gets hurt in 7 minutes, has 2 boards in 7 minutes, and then they lose by 24 because he doesn't play anymore. He misses the following day's game, and then in this next one, 22 rebound chances. Look at the 3 games he played against this team last year. Same concept. First game, only 23 minutes in that one. They won by 33, so he didn't have to play much. Then to the games that he actually played 30 plus minutes, 16 rebound chances, 26 rebound chances. Granted, this one was without Jokic, but this one with Jokic, 16 rebound chances, 9 boards. 6.5 is still low to me. Like, this is not a good rebounding team as much as they've gotten better with iHeart. Well, he's dealing with Jokic's ass. So do you really want to trust that like other guys are going to out rebound Aaron Gordon if Jokic and iHeart are even canceling each other out, which I don't think they do. I think Jokic has an advantage. But let's say that they come close to canceling each other out. Now you've got Chet and Aaron Gordon. Come on now, right? Even J-Dub and Aaron Gordon, just too big for both those guys. So I'm going to continue to love his boards even more than the points. But if you like the points, he's on one right now. It's just for me right now with the points, I will say this. In this last game, right, when he scored the 22 that he had, he shot 47% from the field, 50% from three, and he didn't miss a free throw. Granted, he is like an 81% free throw shooter, but that's not stuff I want to have to bank on, is him shooting 50% from three to get all of his points, right? So 16.5, still beatable probably, but nothing has a better edge for me with him than the rebounds in this one. Let me just say, I was talking about Russ's RA in the last game. Dead ass wrong, just dead wrong on Russ in that one because the rebounds and the assists were not how he got involved. It was obviously the points in this last game, right? And if you look at the points, how many shots did he take? 13, right? 5 free throws, only went 1 for 5 from 3, and he still had 18 points. That's what I like about this. It shows that he was able to get to the rim. He was able to get easier shots than just these threes that he's been making lately, but he didn't have to rely on them to get his points. If he went like 3 for 5 from 3 and ended with about 16, 17 points, 9 of them are threes, and he's shooting 70-something%. I don't like that to continue. But he can shoot 20% from 3 and still get, 13 points. He got 18 in this one. Then I'm going to feel good about it. I don't think he's scared of the moment. I know that they need him out there. He played 30 minutes in this last one, and I would expect him to continue to stay at around, let's say, 26 to 30, right? So if we look at him on the season, let's just do it this way real quick. If you look at him at 26 to 30 minutes, which, by the way, is very conservative, because if we were doing this with a real range, it'd be like 28 to 32. But even in this amount of time, 15 points per game. The assists also look good when you give him this time range here, but this is not a team that I think he's going to have the ball in his hands very much. Like, Jokic had 7 assists, and it's because he had a million touches, like we said, but he had 7 turnovers, I should say, and that's like only going to continue for the Thunder, where they're going to force the guy who has the ball in his hands to turn the ball over a decent amount. Well, if you make Russ the primary ball handler, you're in trouble. So keep him off ball and allow him to play in space rather than have guys crowding around him while he's dribbling and trying to make stuff happen. So I think they're going to continue to use him the right way, off ball, and then have him go from there. That's why I do like the points more than I like anything else for him. And Christian Braun. I talked about his points in the last one as maybe a spot-up shooter. He was not hot. I still think the points are decent. 11.5 is probably fair for him, but I think the assists and the rebounds, both of which we saw do well, but I mean, the rebounds stand out to you, right? So rather than just take the boards, I do think the PRA is still a very beatable number, even at 20.5, right? It opened at 19. It's gone up to 20. First of all, look at him in this series. All the PRA saves him because he doesn't have like a perfect hit rate on everything. Points, all but 1. Assists, 2 out of 3. Rebounds, 2 out of 5. Rebounds, 3 out of 5. But you put it all together, right? Obviously, the points are the most helpful. But now that it's like crunch time and he might be a little bit more scared of taking shots that he felt comfortable taking in the regular season. Plus, again, Aaron Gordon is around, and that's going to eat into some Christian Braun shot attempts as well. I think the rebounds and assists will continue to help him, and the points will be something that maybe he comes close to 11.5 like he did last game with 11 points. But it's going to be right around 10 to 12 each game. Rather than just have to guess if that's right, I think one of, and especially the rebounds, are going to continue to help him. So we're going to go PRA for him. For a guy, by the way, averaging 23 PRA per game on the season, and now that we're in the playoffs as well, averaging a decent PRA as well, 21.8, right? So this is still a pretty low number for someone. Great defense for OKC, I get it, but I don't think OKC or that Denver's just going to come out and fold the way that most people think they will at this point. Like, this game might be a blowout, but I think this series is going 7 essentially, and Christian Braun is going to be a good bet that, like, if these games stay close, he's going to keep getting 40 to 44 minutes, and PRA at 19, 20.5 is going to be a good over for him. All right, y'all, make sure you are subbed to the channel. We've also got an episode up for Wednesday's Eastern Conference game there with the Knicks and Celtics. I'm going to be bringing you this stuff for the rest of this postseason. And if you do want to jump in to make sure you don't miss the actual bets that I'm putting down on my card, use code Davion for that 50% off your first month. Link in the description of the video. Until I see y'all next, happy betting.